welcome back. Today we got the Tandorio. This is, as you're going to see, a dive watch. But first, let's take a look at the packaging. Very simple box, kind of cool though, with that little, cutout. Popping it open. Got your very simple user's manual. Don't think you'll need that. Little tag, not attached to the watch. Your foam little topper piece here. And then here you got the watch. That foam in there, that's a pretty substantial packing there. First look at the watch. Yeah, it looks like a Seiko SKX. That's why I bought it, and there will be a comparison done, but let's take a closer look at this watch first and see how it runs. So here we are. First look at the face. Screams SKX, but the first thing I noticed too is that there are no minute markers besides on the bezel. That is definitely different than the SKX. And it jumps out to my eye. It's kind of naked. The yellow antique look of the Lume paint is definitely also noticeable. Other than that, it's a pretty cool looking watch. The font Tandorio, I tried to get it in focus, but I honestly think it's the paint. It's very hard to focus on. It's not a really clear, perfect looking, applied, painted on logo. Here we are. Let's look at the bracelet a bit, or the band. It's a very nice textured rubber. It's got those little kind of mountainy things. On the underside, it's got those little pyramids, which I think will help kind of wick some moisture away, which is also very nice, but it is very comfortable. It's kind of a nice thick rubber, but it's very malleable, which is great. It's a little long, so if you have a small wrist, you're going to have a lot of extra band, but it's not bad at all. It's really a quality rubber strap. Taking a look at the back of the watch here, pretty standard, case back. Gives you a little information on the watch. Water resistant to 200 meters, sapphire crystal, automatic movement. It is the NH35, so a very standard movement in a watch like this, and as to be expected. So it's pretty all-around great movement wise. Here's a closer look at the face. As you can see, the Tandorio logo is kind of small. It's kind of crunched together. It is definitely a little hard to see clearly. You could also see some light scratching around the hour and minute hand. The dial is kind of just this flat black color. Not really pops a lot. As you can see, there's also scratches here around where they put the second hand on. So they clearly scratched up applying it. Not terrible, but I do like the crispness and definition of the outer part of the bezel here. It's very machined, very easy to grab texture-wise. It's a really nice kind of touch, and it feels great as you rotate it. I love that. Now to show you guys the dimensions of this watch, it is advertised as a 13 millimeter. It's 13 millimeters thick. It is advertised as a 37 millimeter watch width-wise. Right about 37 millimeters. That's pretty accurate and great. Way smaller than the SKX, which is very interesting. And when I compare them, I think it'll be interesting to see how they are different size-wise. Right around 40 lug to lug. And then let's take a look at the band width. And it's 20 millimeters, so everything pretty standard on this, aside from the 37 millimeters. 20, that you'll have easy time replacing the band on this watch. Here's a quick shot of the Lume. It's very bright, it's very nice. The camera doesn't really capture the actual greenness of it. It's much lighter green than this. This makes it look very Rolexy, like that bright turquoisey blue, but it does actually look a little more green in person. But yeah, it's bright, it lasts fairly well. I didn't really charge this up that much, and it's fairly standard. You got the little pip at the 12 o'clock hour marker. You got all your hour indices, hour, minute hand, and the little circle at the end of the second hand. So very good Lume all around on this watch. Finally, here it is on my wrist. I do have a fairly large wrist. I think it's a little over 7¼ inches. So it does look a little small on me. The reason I stopped wearing my SKX was because of how thick it was. I kind of have that same issue here. It's definitely a very proud, thick watch, but it's not bad looking. I love the bracelet that comes on this. rubber band, whatever you want to call it. I always call it a bracelet. But it's just an all-around stunning looking watch. For $60, this is a really, really cool piece. And it fits very, very comfortably, which I'm really happy about and love. That's it for this one, guys. Definitely recommend this Tandorio. Check it out. It's a cheap watch. Grab one, especially if you love the vibe of the SKX. And I'll see you guys next time when I match this up against the SKX.